I'll let
What's
him know
your
you're
name?
here.
Sorry?
Detective Dalloway.
Oh, hello.
Just one moment. Oh, I think he's already heard. He's been summoned.
Hello. So, howdy.
Hi there. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'll be honest with you, I've had better days.
Why? What's going on?
Well, that is actually what
Come
I want
take
to
a
talk to
seat.
you about.
Alright. What's happening?
Okay. So, as you probably gathered from the last name, I'm Scrump's wife.
Scrump Toggins.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if you knew him,
barely.
but his passing was pretty horrific, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew him.
Um,
Are you worried someone's going to be watching us or something?
yes and no. I'm more worried that me coming to you and people possibly seeing me makes things a lot more difficult. But I'm hoping that that's not the case, and maybe I'm just being paranoid.
Or do you want to go inside?
No, no. Okay. I know about how he passed. I know that he didn't die. He didn't die the way that he was supposed to, if that makes sense. He and I were supposed to meet at my house, or at least the house that I've been staying at for some time, up near Brandywine. There we were supposed to have our last moments together and our last days, hours, however long it took for him to pass naturally. But that didn't happen because, as I'm sure you already probably know, he was killed by people. I went and did my own digging, and I made initially a really bad mistake. I told somebody what I found out, and I shouldn't have, because they are innocent in all of this, and they do not deserve what might befall them. I'm talking about Clara Carter. I was angry. Clara was very close with Scrump. It was shortly after I'd found out that he had died, and I told her what I knew, which was he had been pushed off a cliff. At the time, I didn't know exactly who. All I knew was that he had been pushed by people, but I didn't know names. Clara decided to try and help to get some names. Unfortunately, this has now put her at risk. I know that a friend of mine was questioned about a telegram that came in, which gave a whole bunch of information. I know that it's anonymous. I know that, hello. I know that it says figure it out as the sender. Why I've come to you today is I need to know if you guys know who actually sent it, if you guys did figure it out. Because right now, those people who are responsible for his death are now looking to harm me and to harm Clara when the both of us didn't report it to the law because we were afraid that if we did, we would get hurt. If I know who sent it and I have a suspicion, an inkling that if it wasn't me and it wasn't Clara, then somebody had to send in the telegram who knew. And I can only think of the people who did know were the people who were there when it happened.
Right. So do these people know that you know? And how do they know?
They found out because unfortunately, one of my very good friends happened to recover Scrump. I'm keeping their name out of this for now, primarily because I don't know how much they want to be involved. But I can tell you that this person I trust with my life, and I do not think that they would lie to me. Realistically, I would have been fine to deal with all of this on my own. But it's the fact that I accidentally pulled somebody who didn't need to be involved into this scenario and made it worse. I really like Clara. I consider her to be one of my very few friends that I have. And I just really don't want anything else to happen to her. I am trying my best to get this group of people to direct their anger towards me instead of her. But from what I do know about these people is that they are unpredictable. But if I know where that telegram came from and I can prove that it wasn't me or her, then we will not get hurt, and that is all I am trying to do.
Okay. So you know who this is?
Just looking. It looks like it. What's your name? Oh.
Well, I'm Jesse fucking Everett.
I'm Sage. What do you mean read about?
Good things, I hope.
It could only be good things. We're good people.
Written the crossing of a problem, one problem at a time, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evening.
Oh no, I
Who's that back there? Delaware.
Jesse Everett and Sage.
What do they say?
They're just looking. Being nosy, I think.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I just advised them that this was not a zoo.
I know them. I don't think they're here for you.
Okay.
Alright, so we don't know who sent the telegram.
You don't have any idea?
No.
Sounds like bees.
But it's someone that isn't too friendly with law.
Okay.
Oh, I have so many questions.
Fuck. Okay.
Mrs. Hawkins, you seem to care a lot about your friends.
More than you know.
People may not believe it, but I care very deeply about the citizens here in the crossing. It can be very frustrating when one person doesn't have the information they need to help their loved ones and the people they care about. I think you're finding that out, and you've been having to deal with that, obviously. You presented us with a lot of information just then. And I have a lot of questions. I don't know if it's appropriate to ask at this time.
I can
But it
tell you
sounds
that I'd be more
like-
than happy to answer any of your questions eventually. It's just
I just hope you understand my frustration when obviously you know quite a deal. Probably more than we do. And I can't use any of that to help people. Because you've decided you and your friends are more important anybody else. Which I understand. We look after our own. But if there's any chance that these people that you already have suspicions about and that are hounding you, if there's any chance that they can be stopped from hurting other people, gosh, I'd love to be given that chance to help.
I didn't want any of this to happen. I just wanted to have a last day with my husband. That's all I wanted.
In the meantime, how can we help you, do you think? Because you won't have this information because we don't have it. And that obviously puts your life in danger. And your friend.
All I know, and I am scared of telling you this, is that I'm pretty sure that this telegram, it came from within their own group, the people who pushed him. Or at least someone on that side. And
Is that why she came to an undersheriff?
I
Or sheriff?
tried telling them that. And
But
you
they're
can
not.
imagine the reaction I got.
Is that why you sought a sheriff? In the hopes that you could get the information perhaps through the marshals?
Yeah. I'd hoped that if I spoke to one of the deputies. The name was Markham, and he said that if I wanted to know about anything
Can
that
you
was
guys
going
clip that?
on,
I didn't know what
that I
deputy
needed
she
to speak
said.
to an undersheriff or a sheriff. I've been writing for the last 2 days trying to talk to someone.
Could you humor me with a quick question I have? Because you know these violent people better than I do. What do you think would happen to the person in question that sent this telegram should their own group find out about this?
I think there'd probably be consequences.
What kind?
You're a detective, Dalloway. I think we can probably guess between the two of us.
I'd like to hear you say it, Mrs. Dawkins. What do you think would happen if you brought them a telegram proving that their own person betrayed them in this manner?
All right.
I imagine that they would probably want blood within their own group. Or at least maybe some kind of retribution.
Absolutely. So my problem there within lies with the law and the ties that bind, Mrs. Dawkins. For I have to care about every citizen equally. And although these people have done a great and awful deed, and they have not been brought to justice because we have lacked the information, I have to treat that person equally. Giving that a telegram would cause untold violence against that person, I imagine. And while it may be better than you and Clara in your eyes or in most people's eyes, I don't have that luxury of bias. So you see what we're getting at here. I can arrest them for the crimes they committed, but I cannot sanction. Personally, I don't know how the sheriff feels, but I could not sanction, essentially, murder by proxy. With a written word.
So you want to know who sent the telegram, right? It'll clear you and Clara.
That's what I'm getting at,
That's what you
unfortunately.
want.
Yes.
It's like you're asking me for a
If you
weird...
feel like being extra generous, which I'm not going to ask for this, but throwing it out there anyway. A copy of the telegram itself, but I understand that that's probably not possible.
I personally don't know what's possible. I'm just a senior deputy, Mrs. Toggins. I just wanted to make sure you paint a picture of sort of how we have to remain unbiased in that respect.
I understand.
But I also understand that if someone sent something, I don't know, there's a lot to be said.
So you said that they might
Leave
be
it to
going
Manius
after
now.
Clara. What makes you think that?
Because they mentioned her by name. They found out that she'd been asking
These are
about
so
them,
cool.
and they didn't like that.
How long ago was this?
I honestly couldn't say, but
I know
I
what she's
think
going through. Her
probably
husband died and she's been
a
trying
few
to
days
figure it
ago,
out.
a week
She
ago.
found out who it was. She's trying to exonerate herself, let their gang suffer because of it, but now it's gotten a little over her head and she's trying this one last ditch effort. Yeah.
Clara also doesn't know that I'm here.
I just
Can
wanted
you,
her to put in perspective, like,
sit right there for a moment. I'm going to talk to Dalloway real quick.
Sure.
Alright, just go over
are
here.
you hungry or thirsty or anything, by the way? Just give us a shout.
Thank you. I will.
So we've already arrested the people responsible for this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know anything about it.
No, I was just going off of what she said.
Yeah, so we got, they've already served their time, and they're probably back out. A week ago, Digger says that Clara's been harassed by one of them, that if she spoke to Law, he would get creative with harming her. But he's already been processed for it.
She's in a very difficult position. I can understand why she's done what she's done, sort of out of fear and everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's just,
There's nothing we can give her anyway.
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, even if we
don't know
could.
who. Yeah, we don't know who sent the telegram.
Which
All
group
we
are
know
we
is
dealing with?
this is going to be Froggy and Waggy.
Oh,
So, um, Froggy and Harlow are the ones that were charged with manslaughter. Apparently, it was an accident. And, that's it. The telegrams, well, I don't like doing favors for you all. I thought you'd like to know that Waggy has been talking about him and his gang being responsible for the murder of Scrum Toggins, pushing him off a cliff. A man by the name of Froggy was mentioned taking part. Have fun. We have no idea who sent it at all. So there's like nothing we can do to help her apart from let her know that they've already been charged a while back for it. And they're already out of Sissaka, I suppose.
so there's nothing we can really do.
There's nothing we can do. We have no idea who it is who sent the telegram. I don't know if they're still going to be going after her and her friend, Clara.
Are there any measures we can take to at least observe or protect? There's nothing, this is where our ability to do our job sort of meets our inability to do our job.
Yeah, we can't protect them at all times.
Precisely.
We can't follow them around, but if we know that they're sort of targeting them, I mean, it's hard for us to stop it without actually being there. But at least we know that they're making plans and doing that sort of thing. That's not just, out of nowhere. If we, I guess even if we knew who sent it, we wouldn't be able to tell her.
It would be a difficult decision. For example, let's say we did know and it was one of the gang members. How do we justify that? Because they, like she said, they probably would commit violence against that person. And is that just? I don't know. I think she's grieving real hard. And she's desperate to make answers where there are, and on top of that, these people are still harassing her because in her grief, she did what anybody else would do and try to find answers. If that happened at Tom, I mean, I probably would do the same thing, trying to figure things out.
Yeah. Well, in the file, it says that Froggy confessed to the manslaughter. So what?
I have an idea.
Okay.
I don't know these folks, or when they operate. Well, we could just bring them in or not even into the office, but just, God, I wonder if I could swing an interview with any of them out of curiosity. And I feel like if you can isolate people, they're so desperate to just chat about things. They forget you're a deputy sometimes. If I could isolate these people, I could probably figure out who the mole is in their own group and then isolate them further. But that would be a long-term project. That's the only thing I can think of as a preventative measure that wouldn't get anybody hurt.
Yeah, okay. You want to try and do that? Talk to him
Or at
one-on-one.
least talk to deputies around that time or detectives who can try to, even if it's like during arrest.
Arrested.
Yeah, just take them for 5 minutes somewhere quiet and just have a chat with them. Just get to know the type of person they are. Anybody with a conscience, we zone in on that person.
Problem is, it doesn't even have to be someone in that group.
No, absolutely.
It could just be someone that one of their members is bragging to about, because it says, I don't like doing you favors, thought you'd like to know that Waggy has been talking about him and his gang being responsible for the murder of a deputy. So it's probably like
Yeah, like a bar
completely different
gossip or
criminal.
something.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Yeah.
There is no way to know. What we know is the leader of the group had a big mouth and was talking about it to a lot of different people. One of those people sent the telegram.
Perhaps we stop her going down this avenue by letting her know that information.
Yeah.
And maybe she won't
I
pursue it
think-
further and get herself in
I
trouble.
think, I think that's fine to let her know that one of their members was openly talking about it to a whole bunch of different people. And those people could have been anyone that sent the tip in. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Alright, let's let her know. Alright, Mrs. Toggins, sorry about the delay.
No, that's okay.
So you know the people who had done this? Right.
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
they have been caught for doing this.
Yes.
Okay.
God, she's
Yeah.
so good.
With this telegram, we do not know who sent it. We don't know if it's someone from their gang. Apparently, the way it reads is someone from their gang was very open about talking about it to other people. So anyone could have sent it. Anyone they'd spoken to. It's not necessarily someone from their group who sent it. Could be someone from another group. Could be someone in a bar that overheard it.
Okay.
Apparently they weren't too quiet about it.
Okay. What is it? So what does the telegram actually say?
So the part that makes me think that it wasn't one of their gang members is... I thought you'd like to know that a certain person from that group has been talking about the gang being responsible for the murder. That's it. They were talking about it.
Okay. Okay. So. Okay, so from what you're saying, somebody might have just overheard someone talking about it.
Yeah. Or they weren't quiet about it. They told people, and then those people sent the tip. I don't know who it is. Maybe someone overheard it.
But
Maybe
you don't-
they were specifically told.
But you don't think it's somebody from within their own gang?
It doesn't sound like it, no.
The wording's very particular.
Okay. Okay, that actually, in a weird way, that actually kind of makes me feel better.
Yes, I knew it. God, I
I'm
love
glad we could make you feel
Manius and
better.
Dalloway really work well
I'm
together.
sorry you're going through this.
It's okay. There's nothing that can be done, really. But I thought I'd try at least. I will say, I know that you probably have to obviously take note of all of this and everything that has been said. But if you can,
Pardon me?
please just try and keep Clara's name away from this.
Pardon me?
I love the poor girl, but by God, she really is the most person in crisis in this place I've ever seen. There's always something fucking happening to her, and I just don't want my bullshit and my fuck up to add to that.
We'll redact as necessary.
Thank you. Is there anything else you can tell me about the telegram or anything that I'm allowed to know?
I mean, that was pretty much the sum of it. I will say, I mean, personally, I was asking the sheriff if there were any measures we could take to help protect you, and it boils down essentially to safe practice and telegramming us if you feel unsafe. And should you need anything, feel free to telegram. But we can't obviously provide 24/7 security detail. But I do want you to know there are people here who are very much invested in your safety. So if you do need anything, please let me know.
I will. Thank you. I think, in all honesty, I have a pretty good group of friends around me who I know will look out for me and make sure that I'm not on my own. So that's good.
Good.
But I will definitely keep in touch. Okay.
Okay. Well, I hope we could help. The best we could, anyway.
We've done a lot. Thank you.
All right.
My sympathies for your loss, Mrs. Toggins.
Thank you, Detective Dalloway. That means a lot.
Yeah, I like Scrump a lot. Yeah, we saved some lives together a couple times. Found a dead body together once. It was a little bit grim, but at least I was there with him.
Yeah. He was my not so secret Santa, and it was good
Did he do a terrible
deputy.
job?
No, he got. I made it very clear what I wanted,
Oh, well,
and he got me a watch. It was very nice. I since have lost it in Gorma, but it's neither here nor there, I guess. Someone stole it.
If it makes you feel any better, on our first date, he wanted to get me something golden, couldn't afford anything, so he just got me a piece of corn and then slapped the word romance on it with tab.
That sounds about right. Very corny.
Yeah, something like that. All right, well, I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you again.
All right. You have a good day.
Oh, well, thank you. And
Take
you guys as well. Thanks.
Well, fucking froggy.
Those people there always there. Who are those? Are those?
Well,
Sorry, I just thought I recognized the person up against the wagon over there. There's a couple of people. I'm not often in Rhodes. I don't know the people here.
yeah, I don't know who that is.
I just had the sensation of being watched. You know when you're feeling like you're being watched and then you look in that direction? That's
And
where
then
I
you are
looked.
being watched. Yep.
I feel like that is a sense they have not defined quite.
It definitely works there.
Horses. Is that the deputy? Bolton? Sheriff.
Yeah, it's deputies.
Single one has been able to.
Not Bolton.
You might just.
Same
Not
vest.
Bolton. Where are they going? I didn't even say hello.
Everything okay here?
I love this shift.
Yeah. I just had a talk with Mrs. Toggins.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I think it went okay. There's not really much we could do.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Did we learn anything new or nothing changed? Based on what was already
I mean, we have who it
learned.
was. Yeah.
Right, yeah, like the stuff that Hooper found previously.
Yeah. Basically, she wanted to know who sent a telegram to the law. Because she wanted to prove to them that it wasn't her or her friend Clara.
Oh, I see.
Because I think it was them, apparently.
Should I add that witness statement as with redactions necessary?
Wait,
Not witness
Who
statement. I'm
thinks-
just saying as a witness statement.
who thinks there was
Yeah.
a telegram sent to the law?
Oh, she knew it. She knew
Yeah.
what it was titled. She knew where it was from.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And who thinks that she sent it?
It looks like Froggy. And then,
Froggy.
yeah, Franklin Frog. You know that guy?
Yeah, I know. That's very frustrating. That I would somehow fucking make it to Froggy.
Got your bullets.
Jesus Christ. People can't be fucking trusted with any fucking information. Should be
What
able-
do you know about it?
So far, it hasn't worked.
What's that?
What do you know about that?
Name my horse is terrible. Terrible names. Where they live.
the fact that Froggy knows about it.
The one before this one, Stella.
It seems that whoever spoke to Bradshaw is the one that let that information out.
The one before that one was short life Max.
So I spoke to Bradshaw. I mentioned that we had heard something,
Before that one
and
was
I
always
did
time.
bring up anonymous telegram, but I didn't say anything to Froggy or anybody related to
Before
Froggy,
that one was full stop.
nor is Bradshaw related to Froggy.
Full stop.
No, but Bradshaw's related to this lady.
The Toggins,
Mrs.
yeah, I
Toggins.
know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
I don't know
Bradshaw
how.
is the next of kin of Scrump Toggins, and the most likely person to know how he died.
When we started this, we
I'll go
And
ahead and
so-
add your inscription for context.
this one's been living
Yeah.
The fact that there was a telegram sent in the first place,
we're doing
I
good.
thought was a pretty good chance of coming from Bradshaw or one of his people.
She said it wasn't Bradshaw. She said she's good friends with Bradshaw and it wasn't him. She wouldn't lie.
No, I believe that,
Horses.
but I don't see how Froggy would know about the telegram or think that it came from her.
Pardon him.
Yeah, I don't know how they would find out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the one who let it slip to Bradshaw that there was a telegram,
Yeah, it does.
thinking that Bradshaw was the one who sent it in the first place. But only because he was the actual person there. When Scrump was robbing, he was the one who did it. Just go ahead of me and I'll catch up. Masters,
There, there's something made. What was
did you hear me
Come
or not? Go ahead of me and I'll catch up. Apologies.
okay? Her deal. All right, come on.
So, there's a statement here from, or a note from Digger saying that Clara has been harassed by Froggy. And that if she talked to Law, they would get creative with harming her. Given this was a confession, so Froggy confessed, Digger now thinks that they won't be going after him anymore.
What does Clara have to do with it?
So, Mrs. Toggins spoke to Clara. So now Clara knows.
Let's see.
She told Clara what she knew. That he had been pushed off a cliff at that time. She didn't know the names. All she knew that he was pushed. Clara decided to try and help get the names. So they found out because she was asking around.
Oh my god. Okay. That's ridiculous to me. So, I spoke to Darius Dixon.
Yeah.
He's the one who told me that there was a manslaughter. And that it was some accident. This is something that I heard about prior to ever talking to Bradshaw about it. And I didn't mention it to Hooper. Hooper came up with that through talking to somebody else on his own.
So you think
So Clara found out from Toggins and
Yeah.
started asking around about it.
yep, trying to get the names.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And I kind of wish you were here to talk to her because you seem to know a lot more about it.
Yeah. I mean, I did see that you were responding to it. I thought that you would have already
Yeah.
been finished when I saw that telegram. I was after we had finished training over at Downs
She
Ranch.
only left about 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Yeah. So what exactly was she wanting then?
She wanted to know who sent the telegram. So
Okay,
that
I
she
mean
could
that we
prove
don't
to
know.
them. Yeah, so she could prove to them that it wasn't her or Clara that spoke to Law.
Well, that telegram came in months ago. Like
Yeah,
months and months ago.
yeah. And the way it's worded is they were bragging about it to
Exactly,
other
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So it could have been fucking anybody.
Yeah, and that, like, when I talked to Bradshaw, I mentioned that. That somebody might have heard something about it. So, you know, if people are talking about it, if you were to tell me something, it's not like you're the only person who would know. You know, like, you know, it's
Yeah,
it seems like it might be out there. So,
yeah.
and yeah,
That's what we
I did
told her
mention
as
the
well.
telegram specifically, and I told him that it was from Benedict to try to jog his memory if he did send it, because it was so long ago.
I've added the transcription without edits at the moment to report 23832. I have not made necessary redactions that she requested yet. I'll leave that up to you both. She did
Okay.
request that Clara Carter's name be left out just in case someone trickles down somewhere.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Should we
Leave that shit out.
create this senior access for now? Or is it not matter?
What would your opinion be?
Well, she's already sort of in the shit with them no matter what. I don't know how many deputies are actually going to be interested in this case still. But I think out of respect for her wishes, we ought to do our best. Because she did come to us regardless of how strange the conversation was. Sorry about
Yeah.
all the writing really quickly while she's talking. It's not going to look pretty, but I will clean that up.
No, it's okay.
Mine looks way worse than this. Anytime I
Yeah, I
take
usually clean
verbatim
up
notes.
after and make it look real nice, but for the
I
benefit of
never
you
clean
seeing
it
that
up
now.
after.
Really?
Yeah, really, because nobody's ever talked to me about it. I'm actually of the belief that nobody ever reads my notes after I write them. So, you know, I check them back, but I can read them, so it's fine. Just something to consider.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as you know, restricting the access to this file, I think your recommendation is fine, and I would agree with you. So, if that's what we want to do, that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
I think most of the people who have been involved in this file in the last month have all been seniors anyway, so or above.
Yeah, looks like it.
Howdy, deputies.
Good morning.
Howdy, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are y'all doing?
Sure.
Yeah, we're
Sure.
doing great.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, doing alright, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I just wanted to swing by, see how you were doing, that's all.
Yeah, after you got yourself taken hostage and a bunch of other people again.
You know, it's
Trouble
really
magnet.
it's really not on me. I just existed. I don't know what to do about that. If I had any way to
I was
turn
told
it
by
on.
the cadet that you said to
God, this
blame
porch
you.
is awful for the
Yeah,
angles.
I wasn't sure that he would, but it's fair enough.
Oh no, he did.
I kind of respect him more for that now.
I told him that he was right to blame you. As
He
I heard
is
who was taken
fundamentally-
hostage alongside.
Yeah. Oh, did you read about all the shit that happened because I was in Valentine?
No, when was that?
Oh, yeah, enjoy that. Today as well, of course.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I'm gonna start listening to you. I'll just send in tips when I go into a city.
Yeah. Well, you're in Rhodes now, and so are we. So
No,
just,
I'm gonna go to sleep. It's done. There's
okay,
nothing else.
okay.
I'm not gonna be around long.
All right.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe. It was nice seeing you.
Yeah,
No,
take care.
see you later.
All right, quickly before I get to deputies.
Who was that?
His name is Victor Beckett.
Yeah.
I've met him twice. I met the lady once. I can't remember her name.
I think he was transit. I don't know if he is anymore.
Yes, he was.
I love these hours, guys. This is my favorite. I've been up since like,
Okay, actually,
6.
this telegram only came in earlier this
I
month.
went to take a nap.
I thought that was much longer ago.
I get to meet so many people, and they're all sort of tired, so, and I'm wide awake. You know, I've got an advantage. Oh, man. Full gas in the tank. They're running on fumes, baby. We got this. I get to talk to so many people and meet the people that I never get to run around with. Yeah, the Breakfast Club. I gotta go out to Armadillo next time. Ugh.
Well. I don't understand how Froggy would have heard about the telegram. I didn't mention it to Darius at all. Nor does it talk about... Well, it doesn't really describe how Hooper talked to Haley Harlow.
I thought she implied that she'd told him. She did say
I
she
see.
tried to tell them. So yeah, maybe she told them because she heard it from somebody else. Won't say who. I don't know that for a fact, though. Just seemed like what she was implying.
Yeah, I'm just reading through your notes now.
Anything in parentheses or with notation marks beside them is probably a question asked by one of us. Or a clarification.
Yeah, I can only think of the people who didn't know or the people who were there when it happened.
Mm.
Good friends is Julius.
You know the good friend?
Well, it'd be Bradshaw most likely. Bradshaw was the one who brought Scrump in.
Julius Bradshaw?
Yeah, yeah. and
Sorry, I've been investigating him for like a year.
Okay, I ran
I
into
never
all
get
of
close.
them. I ran into all of them at Blackwater.
Really?
Bradshaw was wanted for something. Chevalier talked to him, tried to get him to turn himself in. He refused, but he agreed to come and turn himself in at a later date to Chevalier, and so that was their agreement. I stopped him because I had just talked to Darius a few days prior, or maybe the day prior, I can't remember. And I asked him about this this situation, if there was any other information he had, and I mentioned that we had heard.
Crossing Sheriff's Department. Gonna have to have ourselves a little conversation.
Oh, it's you again.
I'm really sorry.
Ah, we were speaking the devil. Oh, this is very exciting.
Speak of the devil and he shall appear.
All right, easy does it. What are we talking
Okay,
about?
Beautiful. Ain't gonna be any funny moves, right?
I'm not a funny person.
Good to hear. Get the gun up. I'll go talk to him. Now, unfortunately, as I'm sure you understand, this is a matter of safety. People mean a great deal to me. And, well, folk like Froggy ain't gonna just take word of mouth for an answer. In fact, all this may be for absolutely fucking nothing, and he may ride on us regardless and attempt to kill us no matter what happens here. That was the risk I knew I was taking. And I removed
Oh
Scrump's
my
body from
God.
his possession.
These hours don't quit.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna need a couple things from y'all before we let you go on with your evenings.
He just said her friend is
things.
Julius Bradshaw.
Indeed. Number one, I'm gonna need that telegram. I'm sure you transcribed yourselves a copy, but without physical evidence of what exactly was told to you, well, it's only my word against Froggy's already preconceived notions of what happened. Second thing I'm gonna need, and this is gonna be a bigger ask, the second thing I'm gonna need is the name of who did the interrogation. Ain't because I want to hurt him or nothing like that. I just need to know exactly how that conversation went down and how we went from you and me having that conversation in Blackwater. You seem to really need a witness who's willing to come forward to all of a sudden Froggy's being arrested for this thing, right? Something happened between those 2 points in time. I need to know what precisely.
I see. The people on the other side would have some idea of what exactly transpired between them, right? So, you knowing it wouldn't change much?
Maybe not. They seem convinced that there was already enough information, that someone gave very specific details to the law, more specific than what was in that telegram from the sounds of it. So you see there's a bit of a discrepancy, one that I cannot account for, one that either they are not willing to look at or frankly do not have the mental faculties to look for or simply not aware of.
I see. Okay, so you're demanding these things, and the alternative is you shoot everybody here.
Yeah, the alternative is this gets very bloody, which is not what I think either of us want. As
So
y'all,
you'd
I'm sure,
shoot
are
us.
very well aware.
You'd shoot us, but not the people who did that to your friend.
Oh, more likely than not, I'm going to end up shooting them too. But cutting y'all down, even if I can't get any information, would at least send a message. What I'm trying to avoid, as I'm sure you understand, is an endless goddamn cycle of Froggy chases after us, we chase after him, people die, people bleed. I have been through that far too many times for me to pay the price of someone else's fucking choice. That is my problem here, right? If I had said something to y'all or somehow gotten this information out, sure, I'd pay the price for that. One of his own talking too loudly in a bar? No, I'm gonna do what I can
Oh my God.
to make sure that I don't bleed for that.
Oh, sorry.
Sure, I can
It's
understand that sentiment.
Oops.
So
Can
you wanna
Noopsie
come here
poopsie.
and do this to the people that were trying to help.
Dalloway attack. Map attack.
I know y'all trying to help. I also know the law has its limitations. Limitations that we don't adhere to. Considered a matter
if I turn
of
around?
different values. No, you can turn around.
Dalloway, you okay down there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What do you think about the requests made? Demands, rather.
You're asking me.
He's asking me.
Asking Dalloway.
So you want the telegram?
I want the telegram, and I want the name of who got the confession. And I promise on Scrump's goddamn grave that I have no intent to harm the person who got the confession, merely find out what exactly happened during that conversation.
The telegram's gonna give you the same information you sort of already have. I reckon I don't feel too bad about that. But could I understand a little bit of the motivation behind the interviewee? I'm
Dan
just a
Lynn
little confused, you know.
and I had a conversation. No, sure. Dan Lynn and I had a conversation in Blackwater where it was made very clear that the law had this telegram. In fact, I do believe you thought it came from me.
I did indeed.
Now, I couldn't make it obvious that it wasn't me without showing my hand, but through this conversation, it was made very clear that they needed y'all needed a witness to come forward, right? Someone to corroborate what that telegram said. Yet somehow, Froggy ended up confessing and ended up going to Siska for it, right? So, between needing that witness to all of a sudden him being behind bars, something changed. Likely, I'm assuming, at this point, without any additional information on anyone's part, it was just Froggy and his friends saying something dumb and slipping up. Somehow they ended up confessing and tattling on them goddamn selves. But I need to hear that from whoever did the interrogation.
So you're hoping that we can give you information that helps prove that it's one of their own messing about.
Exactly.
I feel like that would possibly endanger their lives. Obviously, I spoke with Mrs. Toggins about this.
It most certainly would.
And
That
what are you?
is the contract.
And you're suggesting you know, the bloodshed, the shootings, and that. If you don't get this information.
Indeed. At the very least, I can go back to Froggy, tell him what I've been told, tell him what I was refused, and what we did in response. Again, it may not be nearly enough, but it's something.
Well, that's a tricky one. Are you suggesting that the conflict could be resolved in this case, but then someone turns out possibly injured? So for me, it's sort of a lose-lose situation for a citizen of the crossing, and I have to bear the responsibility of protecting every citizen regardless of the scenario.
Oh, I understand that. Ideally, this can be all attributed to someone's big dumb mouth, and we put this all behind us. Froggy made it very clear that he trusts his people implicitly. He has no reason to believe any of them would deliberately betray him, and it doesn't sound like anyone deliberately betrayed him. It sounds like someone was just a fucking idiot.
Well,
Sure,
I have to.
maybe he'd kill him over that. But I think more likely, we're talking a slap on the wrist, maybe roughing him up a little bit. That's about it. I don't think he would kill one of his own, especially over an honest mistake.
Well, I hope that's the case. I have to advise you, I'm not super familiar with the case as Sheriff Lynn is. So I can't offhand even tell you who or what the witness statement was or this or that. So we're all assuming a lot. I would have to defer to Lynn in that case as far as whether that information even exists. Sheriff?
Sure. I don't mind giving you the telegram. You know most of the contents anyway.
Okay, I'm on the right track. Don't give the telegram.
I feel like
I don't know the case. He does.
that telegram will help you.
I don't mind helping to negotiate in the high pressure,
I feel
but
like the rest of
yeah, thank you.
what you're asking for isn't necessary. As far as what changed between when we spoke and, you know, the confession and arrest and sentencing. It's,
It would help to get confirmation that my suspicions are right? That Froggy just told on himself.
well, give me a moment.
Sure, please.
Is it
I do
alright if I have a
apologize. This is
cigarette?
not how I wanted this to happen.
Yeah, go ahead.
How about me?
Thank you.
All right.
Dalloway, I do want you to know that
Yeah, you
everything
came
I
here
said
saying
was
it's
true.
probably all for nothing.
And I really
What are you
didn't
doing
want to
right
have
now?
to do this, but I just...
I think you're right.
It's a rock and a hard place.
Probably is, but I would rather feel like I exhausted my options rather than just say, fuck it, I give up, and prepare for Froggy to try to hunt me and my folk down. The unfortunate reality is, by bargaining with these bastards to make sure that Scrump could get a proper burial, I put my life on the line. And now we reap the consequences.
What guarantee do we have that if we give you this stuff, you ain't gonna try and gun us down anyway to send a message?
I'm sorry, have we
Many
met?
things. And one of those is a man of my word. I gain
Got one of
nothing
them
at
faces,
this
I
point.
guess.
If y'all are willing to cooperate with me. If I wanted to
my
gun you
mama's
down
gift, too.
simply for the sake of gunning you down, I would say as much. I don't see. There we go.
Who do you reckon you take after, Ma or Pa?
Here's the telegram.
The less talking you
Take a
do,
look at
shut up.
that before you decide anything else.
Okay.
If Dalloway's talking, I can't hear.
My apologies.
It's alright.
That is useful.
The reason I wanted to talk to you is because if it's out there, getting talked about by other people, maybe something you saw might have been talked about by somebody else. If you saw anything, or if you knew anything. Being that you were the one who brought him back.
Oh, the
So-
jig's up at this point.
Yeah.
I'll tell you as much. The problem is, I was there. I was the only one there. So he knows it came from me or from his crew. And if I put a gun to that man's head right now and asked him, did your crew slip up? Did they make any mistake? Did they even breathe a word of this to anybody else? He would swear up and down, no, it did not happen. And he'd be a dead man for it. That is how convinced he is that this did not come from his side. That is how ready he is to kill me and mine over this.
Well, there's no way for any of us to prove where that telegram came from. Or who.
Unfortunately not. So this may not be enough, but it is something. And I do appreciate that.
Sure. As to the other part of your request, if you're saying that you need to know who asked what and who got what information, I'm gonna have to decline. No. I want you to think twice before deciding anything. Yeah, you've got guns on us. We've got guns too. You getting shot here. Us getting shot here. You might be able to tell them you did something. But you might have one less person to tell them about. You never know what's gonna happen when guns are involved.
Trust me, into this night violently is not something that I would like. Why don't you give me a
would I.
moment? Roxanne, come talk with me. Keep an eye on them, you two.
Just remember that they know what they talked about and they know who they talked to. You know one isn't gonna change that.
I know they're trying to test me for handling situations, but I need to get a handle on this. It's so wonderful to be able to meet the crew, so to speak. Mary, by the way, Mary Dalloway.
All right. We are going to leave with this telegram. You do not have to give us any additional information at this time. However, what I would ask that you do, reach out to whoever it was who got this testimony. Tell them to reach out to me. They can write me. They can meet me. What do they want? Maybe there's some sort of deal we can work out. I don't know. But they should reach out to me so we can discuss this further. If I don't get some sort of correspondence, we're going to have a problem. I would rather it not come to that. Sound fair to y'all? Or as fair as I guess we can get things tonight?
We'll make the attempt, but you don't get that correspondence. I hope you understand really what you're doing and why.
Well, I appreciate you passing along the message. Again, sorry it had to come to this. Certainly not how I want to spend my evening. But
Oh. I'm sorry for our part
sometimes things must be done.
in anything coming back to you that shouldn't have. That's not the way these things are supposed to work, but everybody makes assumptions when they know anybody who's involved.
Like I said, just like every morning, I wake up, keep living this life. I know the risks I'm taking. I know what lies at the end of the road. I knew exactly what I was doing the day that I promised Froggy that I would not talk to the law in exchange for Scrump's body. Frankly, it's a goddamn miracle he didn't shoot me in the head and leave both of us out there for the wolves. This may have been the inevitable outcome of my choices that day, but I don't regret it. We got Scrump back. We got him buried. Now we just deal with the rest. Now, we'll leave you all to your evening. I do appreciate the cooperation.
Sure. We'll see you around then.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
There we go.
Y'all keep blowing. Be brave, all right? All y'all. Y'all doing a great job.
Everybody all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, Delroy.
You're right on the way.
Yeah. Sorry, I just don't know much about this case, so I didn't want to talk out of my ass.
That's okay. I wasn't trying to push it on you or anything. I was just wanted
No,
to see exactly
I'm quite
how
happy
you-
if I got the info, but unfortunately, I
Yeah.
felt a little
No,
bit
that's-
out of my
that's all right.
depth.
Well, I mean, now they get fuck all help from us.
Yeah, well, that was disappointing. I didn't want to relay it on my face or anything, but yeah. I was trying to get as much description as possible in my mind.
The one that was holding you at gunpoint, I'm pretty sure his name was Chaucer.
Chaucer?
I believe so, yeah.
Just on here. I don't know who the one was that
That tan
was looking at
cowboy.
Boswell.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I just came back here to want to go to bed and
And that was Julius Bradshaw, right?
It was Bradshaw, yeah. He wears that mask and goes around by the name Midas. Or
Midas.
somebody in that group goes around by the name Midas, and I'm pretty sure it's Bradshaw.
It
'cause
must be
he's-
him. He
he's
had
the
his
leader.
other coat yesterday was also gold trimmed. And I remember that voice from my undercover work in Saint Denis, which took every ounce of my might not to ask him if he recognized me.
Yeah, no, I recognize Bradshaw's voice pretty well.
But that's the thing. The mask is the
Saw him
same,
a
and
few
we were just
times,
talking
yeah.
about him being her friend when they
Yeah.
rolled up.
He also said that you spoke to him, and which was Bradshaw, so.
Yeah. So they,
Excellent.
at least Bradshaw.
We've got
robbed
some
the Rhodes
indicators.
Bank last night we have his fingerprints, and under the name Midas. There was another case under the name Midas. There was another bank robbery in Rhodes again, and it was Bradshaw's prints were also found. Nobody else's were.
Do we reckon they're involved in
Go
that
to
Greek
bed
mythology case?
Good man.
I'm not sure.
Probably a
The other
stretch. I
names that
know
were used
everyone's
in
into
the-
that.
The other names that were used in the those bank robberies were in colors, like they were red, green,
Gotcha.
and purple, and all that shit. So I think it's more about the gold than it is about the
Oh,
Greek
yes, indeed.
connection.
Oh, Lord. He's the most vain gentleman I've ever seen. It's fascinating.
God damn it! Fucking.
Very charming.
So now what? Tell them to reach out to Bradshaw so he
Yeah,
can
I don't feel we need to make...
No.
I will not be petty about the redactions, but goodness gracious, how disappointed.
I mean, I understand it from their perspective. They,
No, absolutely.
you know, they're being attacked by an unreasonable party for. The other thing is, and I'm telling you to this, you know, in confidence, something that only myself and Wiley know because we were present. You know, Darius Dixon, who runs with Froggy, is the one who told me that it was a manslaughter, and basically confirmed everything but anybody's names. He said that he heard it from somebody else, and so, you know, I'm not gonna throw him under the wagon or anything either. It's just that that happened prior to Hooper talking to anybody and after the telegram. So the
Oh.
telegram came out. I don't know exactly who sent it. Darius told me that, yeah, it was a manslaughter. And he had heard about it from somebody. Tried to pass it off as he has an information broker who knew about it. Anyway, yeah, he didn't confirm anything about Froggy, which is what the telegram said, but they run together. It's very obvious that he knows all about it.
Mm.
But that's like another case of his own group, you know, spreading the information, and yet they're turning on Bradshaw and them about it. Like, it's... I didn't mention anything about the telegram to Darius, so he gave that completely of his own volition in return for a reduced sentence.
I knew there was a pattern of the way she spoke about things that clearly indicated she was involved in a lot of underhanded things, I guess is the phrase I want to use.
Yeah. Well, she's very likely part of the bank robbery last night as well. 'Cause she
I
was
want to
around.
bring her in for questioning about that.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. She was around looking for a sheriff, and then shortly after, maybe like an hour later, that's when the bank was
I think
robbed.
she's
and
a
Bradshaw's police are
honeypot.
on scene.
She's an active honeypot. We might need to make update the GDF with that information that she might be seen before something happens.
Which,
It seems like she gets a
chances-
scope. Sorry? I wonder, yeah,
Which Chaucer? I'm not sure.
under the Jade King at least. I don't know what they call his crew. This is all very new to me. I'll start working on it.
I think isn't the same fucking people. Yeah, it is. It's the same person.
Yeah.
Mr.
Been arrested
Bradshaw
under
has
two
his
different
fingers
files.
in like
Fucking shit.
in tons of pies, and that's why I've been investigating him for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
I've seen evidence of his activities in
Jeffrey
Annisburg, on the
Chaucer,
docks.
Get rid of the other one.
He was in and out of the Blue Pearl when I was undercover there. Just, yeah. Open bastardry,
Might
that
just
one.
get rid of the other Chaucer citizen registry.
So sick. Oh, you've done it now, Manius. Your horse lacks me.
Impossible. Oh,
No,
lacks
no, he
one.
does. All horses lack me in the end.
Oh, I didn't like you in the beginning.
Where did Boswell go?
Went to bed.
Oh, okay. I meant to thank her for being there and standing by.
Look, he wants to nuzzle. There's something about Dalloway. That's where when you create a character, some characters have a feeling, like, seem to have an affinity. Yes, you two have a great burden to bear.
Looks like your feelings are right, Dalloway, and we're being watched the whole time.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The two across the street. That
Yeah, that
the
was them.
the tan gentleman and the gentleman in black against the door.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.